I shouldn't be sitting here right now, because the woman across from me on this subway train is supposed to be dead. The police confirmed it. My grandmother confirmed it. Even I saw what she did to her victims, what was left behind, what couldn't be explained, what no one wanted to fully describe out loud. But she is here again. Alive. Calm. Smiling at me like nothing ever happened. Like I never survived her once already. And the worst part is, she already knows my name, again. The subway today feels different, not because anything changed outside, but because something inside me already knows what's about to happen. The noise around me is normal, people talking, trains screeching, phones buzzing, but it all feels far away, like I'm underwater. And then I see it again. That black leather handbag sitting perfectly on the seat beside me. No owner. No movement. No urgency. Just presence. Like it was placed there with intention instead of forgotten. I remember staring at it longer than I should have. People around me didn't even notice it. That was the strange part. Something so obvious, yet invisible to everyone except me. I tell myself to ignore it. I even look away. But my hand moves before my thoughts do. When I open it, there's an ID card inside. The name reads Elvira Kane. A woman I've never met, or at least that's what I try to believe. But the photo, it creates a strange discomfort in my chest. Not recognition exactly. Something worse. Like my brain is trying to recall a memory that hasn't happened yet. I tell myself I'll return it. That this is just a normal mistake. That normal people fix things and move on. That's how I justify it. That's how I walk into her world. The next day, I find the address. The building is older than the others on the street, slightly disconnected from its surroundings, like it doesn't belong in the present timeline of the city. When I knock, I expect hesitation. Confusion. Surprise. Instead, the door opens almost instantly. She is already there. Elvira Kane. And she says my name before I can say anything. That moment should have ended everything. But it didn't. Her apartment feels wrong in ways I can't immediately explain. It is clean but not lived in. Not a single object feels randomly placed. Everything looks intentional, like a stage someone has been preparing for a long time. Even the silence feels structured, as if sound itself has been controlled inside these walls. She offers me tea. I accept. We sit. She speaks softly about her past, Europe, loss, loneliness, a daughter who is far away. Her voice is steady, almost rehearsed, but her eyes are watching me too carefully. Like she's measuring how I react to every word. And still, I believe her. Not because she is convincing. But because sadness like hers feels familiar. Because loneliness makes people trust the wrong kind of comfort. Before I leave, she says something that should have broken everything immediately. You notice things others don't, Sophia. That is why you were chosen. Chosen. I repeat that word in my head all the way home without understanding why it feels wrong. After that, she doesn't disappear. She integrates. Calls. Messages. Small invitations. Coffee that turns into routine. Routine that turns into dependency. And before I realize it, I am no longer deciding to see her. I am just responding. My grandmother notices before I do. She always notices first. She sits me down one night and says, "That woman is not trying to be your friend. She is studying how to become you." I laugh. Not because it's funny. Because it feels impossible. But my grandmother doesn't laugh. She never jokes about patterns. That's when things begin to escalate. Elvira stops being just invitations. She becomes presence. I see her outside places she should not know about. Not following me in a traditional sense, but arriving before I do. Like she already knows the version of me that will appear there. Then one night, everything breaks. She invites me for dinner again. I go because I always go now. Her apartment feels heavier than before. Not physically but emotionally, like pressure building inside a sealed room. While she steps away, I walk down the hallway and notice a door slightly open. I shouldn't look inside. But I do. Inside are shelves. Not normal shelves. Not storage. Organization. Hundreds of handbags. All identical. All labeled carefully. Names. Dates. Notes. Phone numbers. Like documentation. Like classification of lives. My breath stops when I see one tag. My name. Before I can move, her voice appears behind me. You were never supposed to reach that room, Sophia. No anger. No panic. Just calm disappointment. That is the moment I understand something is fundamentally wrong with her perception of reality. I leave immediately. I try to cut her off. Block her. Avoid her. Change my routine. But she doesn't follow routine. She predicts it. She starts appearing in places before I arrive. Not chasing me, waiting for me. Like I am not a person but a sequence she already understands. My grandmother starts investigating seriously now. Not emotionally. Structurally. She finds inconsistencies in records. Gaps in employment history. Institutional overlaps that don't align. And then she finds the truth. Elvira Kane is not just unstable. She is systematic. A former nurse. Fired. Investigated. But never fully charged. Every place she worked has missing persons reports attached to it, but nothing directly traceable. Only absence. Only silence. My grandmother says, she doesn't lose people, Sophia. She replaces them so completely the original version stops existing in memory. I don't understand the weight of that sentence yet. Until I stop understanding time properly. There is no clear kidnapping moment. No obvious transition. Just discontinuity. One moment I am walking home. The next moment I am not. When awareness returns, I am inside a wooden enclosure. Tight. Silent. Air limited. Panic rising slowly because there is no immediate answer to where I am or how I got there. Then the lid opens. Elvira is there. She is calm in a way that removes all expectation of rescue. You adapt faster than the others, she says. Others. Plural. That is when I realize I am not the first. She doesn't torture me in the way I expected. There is no chaos. No rage. Only structure. She feeds me at specific times. Speaks to me in controlled tones. Forces me to repeat phrases I don't understand. Hungarian language fragments that feel less like communication and more like rewriting. You are becoming her, she repeats. Not as metaphor. As instruction. And slowly I understand her belief system. She is not collecting victims. She is correcting loss. Replacing emotional gaps with reconstructed identities. In her mind, she is not destroying people. She is completing them. Outside, my grandmother escalates everything. She studies Elvira's behavioral pattern deeply now. Every victim begins the same way: loss, object, trust. A handbag is not random. It is a trigger mechanism. A controlled coincidence designed to initiate contact. So my grandmother recreates the pattern deliberately. A handbag on the subway. Same style. Same placement. Same silence around it. Elvira takes it. Exactly as predicted. But this time, she is being observed. My grandmother does not go alone. She brings Daniel Kerr, a private investigator who believes only in evidence chains and physical proof. Together they enter Elvira's environment under false pretenses, pretending to inspect nearby property structures. Inside, Daniel notices inconsistencies immediately. The architecture does not align with logical construction. Rooms feel artificially extended. Walls sound hollow where they should not. Doors exist that do not correspond to external layout. The house feels built for containment rather than living. Before he can document further, Elvira appears. No warning. No movement sound. Just presence. Daniel disappears from the system after that moment. Inside, I begin noticing changes in Elvira's behavior. She is less patient. Less controlled. Something external is disrupting her structure. I realize my grandmother is close. Not physically in sight, but in proximity of disruption. Elvira senses it too. For the first time, she reacts instead of predicts. She brings me into the central room. She tells me I am almost complete. That resistance phase is ending. That identity transition is near finalization. But she miscalculates one variable. Time. The door breaks. My grandmother stands there. Not afraid. Not emotional. Just finished waiting. You don't get to finish her, she says. Elvira smiles. I already did. What follows is not a fight. It is system collapse. Control breaking into uncontrolled variables. I run without fully understanding direction. Only survival. We escape. Somehow. I believe it is over. But cycles do not terminate when interrupted. They reroute. Weeks later, I see it again. A handbag on a subway seat. Same placement. Same silence. Same feeling of inevitability. A young woman walks toward it. I stand to stop her. But freeze. Because I recognize her. My grandmother. And she is looking at me like she understands the exact moment I realize the truth. We did not end anything. We only inherited the mechanism. That night, Elvira is declared gone. No body. No confirmation. Only absence recorded in systems. But absence is not the same as ending. Because sometimes, when everything is completely silent, I still hear it. A knock. From inside something wooden. Patient. Measured. Waiting for the next name. And I keep wondering one thing. If she is gone, why does it feel like she already knows who is next?